Ladies and gentlemen, I'm not just talking to everyone. I'm talking to you, the one who's tired but still trying. Success doesn't happen by accident. It doesn't happen through luck or chance. It happens by design. And the key to designing your success is to have a plan, a one-year plan, a roadmap that shows you exactly where you're going and how you'll get there. Most people struggle because they don't have a clear path. They wander from day to day, reacting to whatever comes their way. But the ones who succeed are the ones who start with intention. They create their blueprint, and then they follow it every single day. This one-year plan isn't just about setting goals. It's about creating a system, a structure for growth. It's about breaking down your big vision into actionable steps that you can take every day. Success doesn't come from doing something big once. It comes from doing small things consistently over time. That's how the compound effect works. What you do today and every day for the next 12 months builds upon itself, creating momentum that leads to massive results. Clarity is the cornerstone of all success. Without it, you're wandering through life, hoping for the best, but lacking any real direction. And imagine trying to reach a destination without knowing where you're going. How would you know if you're heading in the right direction? You would. That's why clarity is so important. It's your internal compass, helping you navigate the path to success. It gives you a vision to work towards, and more importantly, it defines exactly what that success looks like. When you're clear on your goals, every decision, every step you take becomes easier because you know exactly what you're working for. To get this clarity, you need to start by defining your big picture. What do you want to achieve in the next year? This isn't just about saying, I want to be successful. It's about being specific. Do you want to earn a certain amount of money? Do you want to build a business? Do you want to lose weight, learn a new skill, or become an expert in your field? The more detailed and precise you can get with your goals, the better. Specificity eliminates confusion and makes it easier to focus on what truly matters. The clearer your picture of success, the sharper your focus will be on the steps required to get there. Next, clarify your why. Your goals are not just things to check off a list. They represent something deeper. They align with your core values and desires. When you are clear on why you want to achieve something, you tap into a greater source of motivation. A goal without purpose is like a car without fuel. It won't go anywhere. But when your goal is tied to a meaningful reason, whether it's financial freedom, personal growth, or creating a better life for your family, it ignites passion. It keeps you going even when times get tough, and it provides a powerful source of energy to fuel your daily actions. Clarity also involves understanding your priorities. It's easy to get distracted by all the possibilities that life offers. There will always be new opportunities, new ideas, and new paths to explore. But without clarity, you'll waste time chasing everything at once, never truly excelling at any one thing. When you're clear on your goal, you can say no to distraction. You can eliminate the noise and focus on what matters most. The most successful people don't spread themselves thin. They focus their energy and resources on their most important goal. With clarity, your priorities become your guide, steering you in the right direction every time you're faced with a choice. Another aspect of clarity is breaking down your long-term goal into smaller, more achievable milestones. A year might seem like a long time, but without breaking it down, you risk getting overwhelmed. Clarity comes when you understand that your year-long goal is actually a series of smaller goals, each one contributing to your larger vision. By setting quarterly, monthly, and even weekly objectives, you make your goal feel more manageable. It's about focusing on incremental progress, knowing that each small step is getting you closer to your desired outcome. This approach makes it easier to stay motivated, as you can see your progress along the way. Finally, clarity helps you measure your success. When you're clear about what you want and how to get there, You have a framework for tracking your results. You know when you're on track and when you need to make adjustments. Without clarity, you might feel like you're working hard but not making progress. You might even be working in the wrong direction. But when you have clear, measurable goals, you can regularly assess where you stand. Are you hitting your milestones? Are you making the necessary adjustments? With clarity, you'll know exactly what to focus on, what's working, and what needs more attention. Once you have clarity about your goals, the next crucial step is breaking them down into actionable steps. A goal without a clear, actionable plan is nothing more than a wish. Think about it. You can set a goal to become wealthy, but how will you get there? What's your specific roadmap? Without clear steps to take, the goal remains vague and intangible, which makes it much easier to abandon when challenges arise. Breaking down your goals transforms your aspirations from dreams into a tangible step-by-step action plan. To begin, take your big overarching goal and ask yourself, what is the very first step I can take today? Don't get bogged down thinking about the entire journey. Focus on one small action that you can start immediately. For example, if your goal is to start a business, your first step might be researching your industry or finding a mentor. If your goal is to lose weight, the first step might be committing to a specific exercise routine or meal plan. The key is to start somewhere, anywhere. Once you have one step, you can keep adding more steps to the process, but it all begins with that first simple action. As you break down your larger goal into smaller steps, it's important to create a timeline. A goal without a deadline is merely a wish. You need to define when each step will be completed and set clear, realistic deadlines for each task. This gives you something to measure against and ensures that you're making steady progress. For instance, if you plan to launch your business in 6 months, set specific goals for each month, such as completing your business plan, registering your company, or building a website. By breaking the goal into monthly, weekly, and even daily targets, you make it easier to see your progress and stay on track. Next, consider how you can make each action more specific. A goal like become fit is far too vague to act upon effectively. Instead, break it down further. Exercise for 30 minutes every day, or eat 5 servings of vegetables each day. The more specific you can make each task, the more likely you are to follow through. When you have clear, measurable tasks, it becomes easier to know if you've completed them. This clarity removes ambiguity and helps you take consistent action. If you say, I will save $500 per month for the next year, it's much more actionable than I want to save money. The specifics give you focus and direction. Another critical element of breaking down your goals is identifying the resources you'll need. Too often, people set goals without understanding what's required to achieve them. Resources might include time, money, knowledge, tools, or even people. By acknowledging the resources you'll need up front, you can make a realistic plan for acquiring them. For example, if your goal is to write a book, you might need resources such as a computer, writing tools, and even a writing course. By identifying these resources early on, you can make sure you're adequately prepared to take the steps necessary to achieve your goal, avoiding roadblocks that could hinder your progress. Finally, be sure to build flexibility into your plan. Life has a way of throwing curveballs at us, and while it's important to have a clear path forward, it's equally important to be able to adapt when circumstances change. Flexibility doesn't mean abandoning your goal. It means adjusting the steps or timeline as necessary. For example, if you hit an unexpected setback, such as a financial issue or health problem, it doesn't mean your goal is out of reach. It simply means you need to reassess your timeline or the steps you need to take. Flexibility allows you to stay focused on the end goal while making necessary adjustments along the way. Discipline is the foundation upon which all success is built. It is the ability to stay committed to your goals, regardless of how you feel on any given day. Without discipline, all the clarity, planning, and goal setting in the world are meaningless. You can have the best plan, the most inspiring vision, and all the resources you need. But if you don't have the discipline to follow through, it will all fall apart. Discipline is what separates those who achieve their goals from those who don't. It is the muscle that keeps you moving forward even when motivation wanes or obstacles arise. At its core, discipline is about consistency. It's not about doing something big once in a while. It's about doing small, effective things every day. The most successful people don't wait for motivation to strike. They simply show up and do the work, day in and day out. This consistency builds momentum, and momentum is the key to making progress. When you commit to doing something every day, no matter how small the action, you begin to create a routine that propels you forward. Discipline means setting aside time each day to take the steps that will get you closer to your goal, whether you feel like it or not. Discipline also requires a deep sense of responsibility. You must take ownership of your actions and hold yourself accountable for the results you achieve. Success is not about blaming external circumstances or waiting for the perfect conditions. It's about taking full responsibility for your progress. When you are disciplined, you stop making excuses. You stop blaming others or the environment for your situation. You realize that everything you achieve in life is a direct result of the choices you make. This responsibility is empowering because it places control firmly in your hands. Another critical aspect of discipline is the ability to delay gratification. We live in a world of instant rewards, but real success requires the ability to sacrifice short-term pleasures for long-term gain. Whether it's turning down distractions, postponing a night out, or putting in extra hours at work, discipline means making decisions that prioritize your future over immediate gratification. It's about doing what's necessary now so that you can reap the rewards later. This delayed gratification is what separates those who settle for mediocrity from those who achieve excellence. Successful people have mastered the art of staying focused on the bigger picture, even when the immediate payoff isn't visible. Discipline also plays a crucial role in managing distractions. In our fast-paced world, distractions are everywhere. Social media, emails, phone calls, and even well-meaning friends can all pull you away from your goal. A disciplined individual has the ability to tune out these distractions and focus on what truly matters. They create environments where they can concentrate, set boundaries, and remove anything that interferes with their progress. This could mean setting specific hours for focused work, limiting time spent on non-productive activities, or even telling others no when they're trying to distract you. Discipline helps you stay laser-focused on the tasks that drive you closer to success. One of the most powerful aspects of discipline is its ability to strengthen over time. When you consistently practice discipline, it becomes easier. It's like exercising a muscle. The more you use it, the stronger it gets. In the beginning, you might struggle to stick to your plan. You might face resistance, feel tired, or lose motivation. But over time, the habit of discipline becomes ingrained in your daily routine. You begin to build a rhythm, and what once felt like a challenge becomes second nature. The more you commit to disciplined actions, the less effort it takes to stay on track. This is how success is built, through the cumulative effect of daily disciplined choice. Accountability is the glue that holds your plans together. It's not enough to set goals and take action on your own. You need someone or something to hold you responsible for your progress. Without accountability, it's all too easy to let things slide, make excuses, and avoid difficult tasks. We all know how tempting it can be to procrastinate or give up when things get hard. Accountability ensures that you don't have the luxury of quitting or putting things off. It pushes you to stay committed to your goals, even when it feels easier to give in to distractions or self-doubt. One of the most powerful forms of accountability is external accountability. This could be in the form of a mentor, coach, business partner, or even a friend who holds you to your commitment. When someone else knows about your goals and tracks your progress, you're much more likely to stay on track. The fear of disappointing someone else can be a powerful motivator. It makes you feel obligated to do the work, show up, and put in the effort because you don't want to let them or yourself down. This kind of external pressure creates a healthy sense of urgency that drives you to keep moving forward, even when the path gets challenged. In addition to external accountability, internal accountability is just as important. This is the practice of holding yourself responsible for your actions and decisions. It's about developing a strong sense of integrity, where you don't need someone else to remind you to stay on track. You become your own accountability partner. This internal accountability is developed through self-discipline and reflection. By holding yourself accountable every day, reviewing your actions and assessing your progress, you create a sense of personal responsibility that drives you to stay consistent with your efforts. It's the internal commitment to doing what needs to be done, even when no one is watching. Tracking progress is an essential part of accountability. It's easy to lose sight of your goals when you don't have a way of measuring how far you've come. Regularly checking your progress against your milestones helps you stay focused on what's important. It also helps you identify when things aren't working, so you can make necessary adjustments, whether it's through a journal, an app, or a weekly review. Tracking your results provides clear data on how well you're doing and what you need to improve. By doing this, you ensure that you're staying on track, and it gives you a sense of accomplishment when you see the steps you've already taken. Accountability also helps you push through moments of doubt and fear. There will be times when you question whether your goal is worth pursuing, or when you feel overwhelmed by the obstacles in your path. It's during these moments that accountability becomes especially crucial. Having someone to check in with, whether it's a mentor, a peer, or even a support group, gives you the reassurance you need to keep going. They can provide a fresh perspective, remind you of why you started, and encourage you to push past the fear. It's easy to lose motivation when you're facing challenges, but accountability partners help you overcome those moments of self-doubt and keep you aligned with your goals. Finally, accountability builds trust and credibility. When you consistently follow through on your commitments, both to others and yourself, you begin to build a reputation as someone who gets things done. This not only boosts your self-confidence, but also opens doors to new opportunities. People want to work with those who deliver on their promises and are reliable. Accountability helps you build this trust, which strengthens your personal and professional relationships. It establishes you as someone who is dependable and serious about achieving their goals, creating an environment where others want to support you. Adaptability is one of the most important traits you can develop on your path to success. No matter how well you plan, life will inevitably throw unexpected challenges your way. These challenges can range from unforeseen financial setbacks to personal obstacles, shifts in the market, or even health problems. What separates those who succeed from those who fail is not their ability to avoid difficulties, but their ability to adapt to them. Adaptability means being able to adjust your course of action when circumstances change, while still keeping your ultimate goal in sight. It is the flexibility to pivot without losing your direction. The first step in cultivating adaptability is accepting that setbacks are part of the process. It's easy to get discouraged when things don't go according to plan, but successful people understand that challenges are inevitable. When you accept this reality, you stop seeing obstacles as roadblocks and start viewing them as opportunities for growth. Every challenge you face teaches you something valuable. Whether it's learning how to handle disappointment, acquiring new skills, or developing resilience, each obstacle you overcome makes you stronger and more prepared for future challenges. This mindset shift is the first step in adapting effectively. Adaptability requires creative problem solving. When things don't go as expected, it's easy to get stuck in a negative mindset, focusing on what went wrong or what could have been. Instead, adaptable people focus on finding solutions. They become resourceful in thinking through alternatives and new approaches. It's not about giving up on your goal when you face adversity. It's about finding new, innovative ways to keep moving forward. This could involve seeking advice from others, rethinking your approach, or learning from past mistakes. Creative problem solving is a skill that improves with practice, and the more adaptable you become, the more solutions you'll be able to generate in tough situations. Another aspect of adaptability is the ability to remain open-minded and flexible in your thinking. Often when we set a goal, we imagine the path to success as a straight line, but life rarely works that way. To succeed, you must be willing to change your perspective and embrace new methods. If your original strategy isn't working, don't be afraid to try something different. Whether it's exploring new tools, adjusting your timeline, or even shifting your goals slightly, being adaptable allows you to stay on course even when things aren't unfolding as you expected. This openness helps you see new opportunities that you might have missed otherwise. Adapting also means learning how to manage stress and uncertainty. As you work toward your goals, you'll encounter moments of uncertainty, times when you don't know what will happen next, or if your efforts will lead to success. Adaptability is about finding peace in these moments. Instead of letting stress overwhelm you, you learn to manage your emotions and approach challenges with calmness and clarity. This resilience helps you navigate through tough times without letting fear or doubt dictate your action. It also allows you to make decisions more rationally, as you're not reacting out of panic, but thoughtfully considering the best course of action. Finally, adaptability is essential for long-term growth. The more you learn how to adjust and navigate through challenges, the more capable you become of handling future adversity. Every time you adapt to a situation, you build a new skill set, whether it's emotional intelligence, problem-solving abilities, or simply the experience of having faced a challenge head-on. This continuous learning loop is what enables you to evolve, stay competitive, and keep pushing forward toward your goals, even as the landscape changes around you. The ability to adapt doesn't just help you survive challenges, it equips you with the tools to thrive in a constantly changing world. Celebrating small wins is one of the most powerful ways to keep your motivation high and maintain momentum throughout the year. It's easy to become fixated on the larger goal, the end result, without acknowledging the small incremental achievements that are essential to reaching that goal. Many people make the mistake of waiting until they've fully achieved their objective to celebrate, but this approach can lead to burnout and discouragement along the way. By recognizing and celebrating small wins, you create a continuous cycle of positive reinforcement that propels you forward. Small wins provide a sense of accomplishment, which is critical for maintaining motivation. When you achieve a small milestone, it serves as tangible evidence that your efforts are paying off. This feeling of success, no matter how small, boosts your confidence and reinforces the belief that you are capable of reaching your larger goal. Every time you celebrate a small win, you're reminding yourself that progress is being made, which keeps you motivated to continue working hard. Over time, these small victories add up, creating a powerful sense of momentum that helps you push through the more challenging phases of your journey. Another benefit of celebrating small wins is that it helps you stay focused on the process rather than just the outcome. Goals can often feel distant, and focusing solely on the end result can sometimes create frustration, especially if it feels far off. By celebrating smaller achievements along the way, you shift your focus to the journey. You begin to appreciate the effort you're putting in, the lessons you're learning, and the growth you're experiencing. This shift in perspective makes the entire process more enjoyable and less stressful, which is key to staying engaged and passionate about your goal. In addition, celebrating small wins provides a much-needed emotional boost. Working toward a big goal can be exhausting, and it's easy to feel like you're stuck in a never-ending grind. By pausing to celebrate small successes, you give yourself the opportunity to reflect on how far you've come. These moments of recognition, whether it's treating yourself to something you enjoy, sharing your progress with others, or simply taking a moment to acknowledge your hard work, allow you to recharge emotionally. This emotional recharge is essential for keeping your energy levels up and preventing burnout as you continue working toward your larger goals. Celebrating small wins also fosters a positive mindset. When you acknowledge and appreciate your progress, you cultivate an attitude of gratitude and optimism. This positive outlook makes it easier to navigate challenges and setbacks because you're focused on what's going well rather than what's going wrong. Instead of dwelling on failures or obstacles, celebrating small wins shifts your attention to your achievements and the progress you've made. This mindset helps you stay resilient and persistent even when things don't go according to plan. It reminds you that success is a series of small steps, not a single giant leap. Finally, celebrating small wins strengthens your sense of self-discipline and commitment. When you take the time to recognize and reward yourself for your efforts, you reinforce the idea that hard work deserves acknowledgement. This builds a positive feedback loop where the more you commit to taking consistent action, the more you allow yourself to celebrate your progress. It becomes a habit. You take deliberate actions toward your goal, and in return, you reward yourself for your consistency. This habit not only keeps you motivated, but it also instills a sense of pride and satisfaction in your work, making the journey toward your larger goal more fulfilling and enjoyable. In the end, achieving success is not about waiting for the perfect moment or having everything align perfectly. It's about staying committed, adapting to the challenges, and consistently taking small steps forward. Every goal, no matter how big, is achieved one small action at a time. Remember, the path to success is rarely linear, but with discipline, accountability, adaptability, and a focus on celebrating your wins, you'll create the momentum needed to push through even the toughest times. As you move forward in your journey, don't underestimate the power of the small win. They are the building blocks of success, the quiet victories that will lead to your ultimate goal. Keep taking action, keep adjusting when necessary, and above all, keep celebrating your progress. Because in the end, success isn't just about reaching your destination, it's about the person you become along the way and the effort you put in to get there.